My name is Marquette Fullow. I'm a model and creative director, and my mental battles are anxiety and ADHD.
So how long have you been battling with anxiety and ADHD?
My whole life, but I didn't know that I had it until I was graduated from high school, so a while. I my teachers and stuff would always get on me about my grades or how I wasn't paying attention in school and all that stuff, and I never got good grades. It was hard to read and all that stuff from ADHD, and my parents always denied it and just treated me as a regular kid, so I had to learn that way, basically. I had to just deal with it and figure out ways to deal with it, but I didn't know that I had it until I got tested and all this stuff after high school.
And so when you got tested and it was confirmed, did that change your view on yourself per se?
Yeah, everything kind of just made sense, actually. At first it wasn't like oh dang, I'm stupid or whatever. It just made sense because I also read on it. It's called You're Not Dumb, Lazy, or Stupid, but it's for ADHD, and it basically teaches you everything. So it'll just tell you that do you ever feel like you just can't pay attention to a book? You read one sentence for 30 minutes. That's how bad it is. It'll just be you keep getting distracted. So if I was in school and then it said there's a spaceship or something, then I would be thinking of a spaceship, and then oh wait, what is in space? And then the stars, and then it just continues until I realize that I'm doing that. But I'll do that for 30 minutes and just be going redoing the page or redoing the sentence over and over again. It's weird.
So do you feel you said that was in high school, do you feel like you have better control over your attention and being focused now, or is it still something that you struggle with?
There's little struggles, but I think I've really mastered it now. I've made my world based off of the fact that I have ADHD, so I pretty much accept it, and I know I can't sit down in a class and learn something. When we work together at JCE, that's the way I learned. So as soon as I graduated high school, I just figured out how to get hands-on experience, because I learned so fast that way instead of just sitting there trying to read a book.
Right.
Which that's cool that people can do that, but it takes me a while to read a book. But I love books.
So tell me about the happiest times or happiest moments in your life. What are those times like? What are you doing that makes you most happy?
Usually, this might sound weird, but playing with the universe. You know how you just want something and then it just attracts it to you. That feeling, that's so fun to me. So, but it's mostly when I'm creating. So it has to do with my festival. When I want to do something towards that, and I see myself stepping towards. It's kind of like a game. So it's really fun to me.
Cool. And so, looking back and seeing where your life journey has taken you, what would you tell your 5-year-old self, if you can tell yourself something at 5?
I would probably just teach them, or myself, I guess, meditation. I would just really teach them that, and just let her sit with that for a while, just so she knows how to control her mind better, instead of just letting it continue and then becoming that, because you can become your mental whatever's happening, if you don't realize or try to make it go back. But yeah.
And so what would you say has been your darkest moment?
Oh, in high school. I was a senior, but it was basically just like boy drama, you know? But it was just like, I got bullied a lot with girls and stuff like that. It was like one of those things. So I was a basketball player. I got along with the dudes more, so those were my friends, because the girls just automatically were just like no. So yeah, girls always were like just kind of mean to me, or would do things to like try to embarrass me and stuff. So something happened with the boy, and then it just became like this entire thing. But yeah, in high school, I didn't know how to like control my mind and stuff like that.
So when you were being bullied or going through that stuff, what were you telling yourself mentally that made it so
it was
difficult?
So bad. Just all those little thoughts you get that they're not true, but I didn't know they weren't true, so I just like fed into it. So it's as if like you don't stop that thought immediately, and you're just like, no, it's not true, and then it kind of goes away. But it just kept going, and it kind of felt like, I feel like most people can feel this, but it kind of felt like I liked the feeling of being sad when I was in high school. Like, I just sat in it. Like, I was just like, okay, yeah, life is terrible, and this is the worst thing that could ever happen, and all this stuff, and like, it just feels like your world is over, and it just, like, really, your world is like really small at that point.
Right.
Like, your circle is so small. You're just going to high school.
And right, because it's like you're isolated, basically.
Yeah, so you just feel like high school is your life. So it's like, if you're embarrassed at school and everybody knows, it's kind of just like, why I wouldn't go to school. Like, it was just like, I would just sit in a dark room, like, listening to sad music, like, so silly.
And how long would you stay in like that state?
Oh my gosh, for a really long time. I don't even know how I would get out of it, honestly, but it would just drag on probably until I got a boyfriend. Like, a new situation happened to where I can kind of like, but I wasn't healthy at that point, so I would drag it into the next relationship and just keep going with it, and then it would just mess things up, So you have to be careful. You have to really learn how to let that stuff go.
Would getting yourself into another situation, was that the only way that would bring yourself out, or did you have other ways of kind of bringing yourself out of that dark moment?
At the time, I think, that was my escape. It was so weird. I didn't realize that until like a couple years ago that I was doing that. And then, but recently, after my breakup and stuff like that, now I know how to, like, I do yoga every morning, so that really like sets my whole day. Now I know, like, I control my day, so I can do whatever I want. So I feel like mornings are so important, because you kind of just like say what you're grateful for, because it attracts more of what you're grateful for. You're so powerful in the morning, so that's like the best time to meditate or like set your day up for success, basically. And so, like, I just slow everything down. It's like the time for myself. Everybody's asleep, so those are healing hours, sleeping hours. And so I like to light a candle. I like pretend I'm the candle and like the little flame, and I just like sit there with it, and it like really relaxes me. In the beginning, it used to take a lot. Like, I would have to meditate for a little bit, but I would get distracted, like the ADHD stuff. But I mean, I think everybody does that, but my brain was so like loud and everything going on at the same time. It was just a continuous fast thing, so it was hard for me to meditate or slow down or anything. So you definitely have to take your time in the beginning with like what you're doing. But yeah, now I can just chill, or have different things that I do. But now, I don't know, things don't really bother me now. I just separate it. I put it in a bubble. I'm like, what's bothering you? If I feel, I know like how I feel all the time. I'm very aware of that. So if I feel something's off, in the very beginning, I like to stop it so I don't drag it on like I used to. And so I'll just like put it in a bubble, and then I'll just figure out the solution to that. And that's it.
And so how important is having mental peace, like your mental peace to you?
Extremely important. It's everything I do. My diet, my space, my phone, who I follow, everything is based around that. I know how important it is.
And then why do you think mental health or mental battles could be so debilitating to a person?
It could completely crash you down if you just follow that trail all the way down to like doomsday. No, I'm just joking. You won't like be there forever, but it's hard to get out. You know what I mean? If you go all the way down, it's like, and so depressing. You just let yourself, like, you can get so dark. Like, it's like that other side comes out of you. That voice, it gets so strong and it becomes you, and then some lead to, you know, suicide or something like that because they can't get back out. It's hard. The momentum is so strong on being sad for so long that it takes time to like become happy again. And then, but I feel like when you're down there, you slowly just like find the tiniest things that can make you happy. Like you just walk around and like get a little spark, and it's like just follow that and just keep going towards that, you know, because then you'll find it'll just like build up back slowly.
And why do you think mental health is a topic that's not talked about openly with the Black community?
I think mostly due to habit. Like if it's not taught with the parents really, then how are the kids even gonna know? And it's very hard, I feel like, for Black men to be able to express themselves because they look weak to other people. You can't like really say something's bothering you or a girl is bothering you. It's weird how like girls can just, you know, like be all dramatic, but if something happens with a guy, they have to be all tough. Like, I think that's silly. But not being able to express yourself and not knowing how to control your brain or even learning how to do it.
Do you think that it's a topic or something that we will get to a point where we can talk about it openly, or do you see it happening anytime soon, or do you think we have some ways to go?
I've seen a lot more inspiration with it now, and it's really beautiful to see that. Like, I think it kind of starts in the rap community too, and poetry and the arts, the entertainment world. Like, a lot of people are just on YouTube and Instagram, and so they see all that stuff, and I think like if you see Jay-Z meditating, like you're kind of like, oh, let me, like you see successful people doing it, and that's where you kind of want to go. So it's kind of influencing them to do it and not like being like, hey, you need to meditate, so they'll like not want to do it. You have to make them want to.
Okay, what is your mental perspective?
I would say control, because when you have control of your instant feelings and your thoughts, then you're able to react better with what you need to react with.